Chapter 3. Time is wasting. I left the office more stressed out than ever. In fact, I was such a wreck that before I even made it out the door, I bumped into a desk, causing a pile of books to fall on my paw. Ouch! Collided with a rodent who was drinking a cup of tea, scalding my fur. Double ouch! Tripped over a waste basket, frazzling my whiskers. Triple ouch! By the time I got outside, I was ready to scream. I flew down the street like a mad mouse. Well, okay, I didn't really fly, but you get the picture. I was fast. When I reached my home at 8 Mosford Lane, I ran right into my bedroom and threw on my favorite pajamas. Then I closed the curtains. I snuggled into bed and had just managed to drift off when the telephone rang. Ring, ring, ring! I leaped out of bed and grabbed the phone so fast I could have been a contender for the annual Mouse City Fire Mouse Rise and Shine competition. My grandfather's voice shrieked in my ear. Well, did you dream? Did you write anything? Time is wasting! My whiskers trembled. Please, grandfather, I cannot sleep on command, dream on command, or write on command, I moaned, but he had already hung up. Then I had an idea. I would try to write my 7th Kingdom of Fantasy book without dreaming. After all, I was an author. I just used my imagination. So I opened the curtains, grabbed my computer, and started the first page of a new document. I typed, "The 7th Adventure in the Kingdom of Fantasy, Chapter 1, Page 1. I stared at the blank page, but nothing came to mind. Or at least, nothing right. No, those stories were special. Even if they just came from my dreams, I wouldn't be right to make it up. I sighed and turned off the computer. I was still debating what to do next when I heard the ringtone of my cell phone. I had received a message. It was from Benjamin. I called him right away and told him how I still needed to fall asleep so I could dream. That's why Benjamin suggested I go to the beach. No, not to build sandcastles and go body surfing. Actually, I've never been body surfing, except for the time I got hit by a giant wave and ended up on a pile of rocks. I'm going to the beach to play with my friends. Why don't you come? You can relax, he suggested. A little while later, we arrived at the best beach in New Mouse City, Pink Seashell Beach. While Benjamin played with his friends, I sat on my beach chair in the shade. The sun was high in the sky, and the air was suffocating. Oh, who goes to the beach to relax in the middle of the sweltering summer? A desperate mouse. That's who, and now I wasn't not only desperate, I was also dripping with sweat. Still, the minute I closed my eyes, I found myself in a magical vortex of stars. Chapter 4. Come on, move your tail! Suddenly, I felt a pinch on my ear, and a voice squealed, Hey you, whatsy, Sir Knight, wake up! I opened my eyes and saw a hermit crab peering out from beneath a large purple shell. He looked at me with round, bulging eyes and an impatient expression. When I didn't respond, he quickly reached out and pinched my other ear. "Ow!" I squeaked. "Oh, good. Now we're getting somewhere," he said. "Come on, you're Leos. We have to whatchamacallit, get the show on the road, shake a tail, get those paws pumping." I sat up shocked and looked around. "Who are you? And what are you talking? Crabs don't talk," I yelled. He pinched my snout, clearly offended. "Who are you, Professor of Crabology? Who says we don't talk?" he cried, strutting in front of me, showing off his sheer wit and air of importance. "For your information, I'm not just any old crab. I am the what's it called for what's-her-face," he declared. "Huh?" I said, scratching my head. "I mean," he continued, "I am the messenger for Her Royal Majesty, the one responsible for imperative reporting, the main mouthpiece of messages. He knows what no one else may, except you, me, and those who defend the mystery of the chain of the 7 charms, the crab of all crabs, the crustacean of all crustaceans. That is, I am Chatterclaws of the 7 seas." Then he bowed and added, "Welcome to the kingdom of fantasy, or rather, welcome back." He showed me a gold medallion with the portrait of the beautiful fairy Blossom on one side. "Do you know Blossom? She is the incredibly kind and caring queen of the fairies. On my first visit to the kingdom of fantasy, I pledged my loyalty to her." On the other side of the medallion was a portrait of Chatterclaws and a message in the Phantasm alphabet. Can you translate it? The medallion read, "Chatterclaws, mythical marine messenger." I realized that the medallion was a badge of honor given to the crab by Blossom. Wow, for a small hermit crab, Chatterclaws sure had a big job. Now, if he could just lay off the pinching. Chapter 5. Message from Blossom of the Flowers. I was still thinking about Chatterclaw's important position when he pinched me on the tail. "Oh, why do crabs have such sharp claws?" "Okay, listen up, Sir Knight," he declared, ignoring my cry of pain. "I am here to deliver a very special thingamabob. Message from the Queen." Then he cleared his throat, coughed, gargled with seawater, and proclaimed, "Message from Blossom of the Flowers for Sir Geronimo of Stilton, entrusted to the mythical marine messenger, Chatterclaws of the crustaceans." The crab interrupted himself and pointed with one of his claws. "That's me." Then he continued, "I, Blossom of the Flowers, welcome you back to our kingdom. The mission I need you to complete this time will be difficult, risky, and very dangerous, for you must face the wicked wizard of the Black Pearl." At this, the crab stopped and shivered, adding, "If you ask me, you should say your goodbyes now. No one beats the wizard." And he went on. Through a spell, this wicked wizard was trapped for 1,000 years in a watery prison at the bottom of the mysterious abyss. But now the wizard is free. I began to gnaw my whiskers. A wicked wizard on the loose, saying my bye-byes. Oh, how did I get myself into these messes? I was such a nervous wreck that I took all my willpower to concentrate on what Chatterclaws was saying next. Long story short, it turned out the wicked wizard had an evil plan to use his power to take over the entire kingdom of fantasy. Your mission will be to find the 7 enchanted charms given by Blossom to 7 separate gardens. When the charms are strung together on the golden chain and returned to Blossom, peace will reign. Well, what do you say, Sir Geronimo of Stilton? Do you accept the mission? The crab finished. But before I could reply, Chatterclaws disappeared into his shell. Huh? A minute later, he emerged holding a strange seashell-shaped telephone. It was the Chatterphone. Queen Blossom was on the line. Knight, if you accept this mission, the first charm and the golden chain are guarded by Coraline. But be careful, the Wizard of the Black Pearl has dangerous allies and spies everywhere, she warned. I was scared, but how could I say no to the Queen? As soon as I accepted, Chatterclaws grabbed the phone and hung up. Sorry, but these long-distance calls cost more than my 5-year subscription of Crustacean Nation, he complained. The crab turned to leave, but then suddenly slapped a claw against his forehead. Jumping jellyfish! I almost forgot. You need your finger magic, your sea armor. Follow me, he called, disappearing once again into his shell. A moment later, I found myself in the most amazing place. Chatterclaw's seashell was actually a mysterious apartment. The crab opened the lid of a large wooden box and said solemnly, "For you." Inside the box, I found a suit of armor made of red coral with a cape made of woven seaweed. There was also a sword, a small bag, and a gold ring with Blossom's seal, a piece of parchment reed. I, Blossom of the Flowers, name you the Knight of the 7 Seas, with power below and above the waves, and the authority to speak in my name. Chapter 6. Goodbye and see ya. A little later, we left the Chatterhouse, and the crab gave me the list of the 7 charms written on a strip of seaweed. Then he pinched me on the ear again. If only I had worn earmuffs, and said, "Okay, what's your name? Goodbye and see ya. Also, my condolences, since you probably won't make it back alive." As he began skittering towards the sea, I ran after him. "Hey, wait! Aren't you going to come with me?" I cried nervously. The crab shook his head. "I'm a message carrier, not a babysitter. No, thank goodness, my mission is over. If you kick the bucket, it's not my problem," he muttered. I chewed my whiskers to keep from bursting into tears of terror. "To be honest," Chatterclaw went on, "I'm surprised you're still alive. As soon as the Wizard of the Black Pearl finds out about your mission, he'll hunt you down until there's nothing left of you but a headstone with your name on it. But don't worry, I'll bring fresh flowers every day." Before I could faint, the telephone rang. Maybe it was Blossom again, saying she had made a mistake. Maybe my mission was actually to travel to the kingdom of fantasy resorts and spa. I pictured myself longing by a pool, slipping a cheese smoothie. Yep, no problem, will do, your majesty. Santa Claus' voice interrupted my words. He spoke to the scholar for a few moments, then hung up and turned to me. Well, Knight, it's your lucky day. Blossom is sending me with you. The first charm is guarded by Coraline underwater in the kingdom of the sea. I let out a sigh of relief. So how do we get there? I don't remember. Santa Claus rolled his eyes, grumbling. Must I do everything? We call a taxi, of course. He let out a whistle, and a moment later an enormous tuna arrived, fully equipped with seats for its passengers. Santa Claus jumped on board and cried, "To the kingdom of the sea, please." Then turning, he said, "Well, what are you waiting for? Waiting for an algae to grow under your paws?" I jumped on board and fastened my seatbelt. The tuna cat took off like a shot, and first we climbed into the sea like a rocket. Two, we almost smashed into some massive rocks. Three, we tossed around in a strong ocean current like socks in a clothes dryer. Rats! Did I mention I'm afraid of boats and I'm prone to seasickness? Anyway, where was I? Oh, right. After about 1,000,000 years, the tuna stopped, checked his meter, and announced, "We're here. That will be 34 clams. And don't forget the check."